is Pastor Aaron, and welcome to the Lane County Ministry Forecast. And I'm here with Luis. He's going to share some incredible things. He was just talking with me right off camera just a moment ago about some exciting things that happened to him as a young man and why he's in this country, what he's doing now, what's happening within his ministry. So we're going to hear from Luis in just a moment. But before we do, I want to just take a few moments and tell you a little bit about the Lane County Ministry Forecast and what it's about. Why does His Word Broadcasting sponsor this local TV show and all the things that His Word Broadcast does to bring local Christian broadcasting here to this area is about you. It's about those that are shut in. It's about those who don't know the gospel. It's about those who want to grow in their faith and need teaching and want to know more and want to go further with their walk with Christ. So, it's about outreach. It's about growing. It's about unifying the body. It's about a lot of things. We encourage you to stay very tightly knit to your own personal church and pastor and leaders. Our heart is never to take you away from a church, but instead to help you be planted and grow throughout the week. And so for some, they're not able to have a local pastor, not able to go to a service. This becomes very vital. And I want to thank all of you who help make His Word Broadcasting possible. I will tell you, we've been running a deficit, and at this rate, if we were to continue running a deficit, eventually these channels would not be on the air, free for those who simply tune in and catch the gospel 24 hours a day on 2 different local networks. So it wouldn't be possible without you, and we need more people to catch the vision of His Word Broadcasting and join us. Today, we have a great guest, and one that I believe will help you understand more of an appreciation. There's even some political ramifications you might find out. You might find out that some of the things you've been dealing with, maybe even attitudes that some of us have, should change, and that there are some segments of our society that need to be reached regardless of your political affiliation. So, Luis, would you tell me a little bit about yourself, who you are, introduce yourself, tell us about your lovely wife, and let's start there.
Yes, I really appreciate your time with us. And my name is Luis Bonilla. My wife is Marta Bonilla. We working together in the Hebron Church minister. We started to working with Crossfire, and we are very excited to reach the Spanish-speaking people around Eugene and Springfield. We already have 3 years in the minister. We're working with few families, but we try to get more. In that situation, we working very deeply to find every single person to speak Spanish, no matter if it's from Mexico, Guatemala, South America, no matter. We know a little bit about culture, a little bit about why they don't want to be around, they like to see it, but we are okay with this.
Can I ask you this?
Yes.
Do you feel like in our Christian culture, and when I say that, it definitely goes beyond Democrat, Republican concepts, but there's no secret that there is some political issues concerning, immigration, the wall, whether there should be a wall, whether there should be open immigration and, retroactive immigration. But we don't want to get into all the political side at all today. And you're actually not from Mexico. You are personally from Guatemala. Is that right?
Right.
And we've got another pastor from Honduras. Your wife is originally from
El Salvador.
Yes. One of our other pastors is from Mexico. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. We're glad that you have joined the Crossfire family of ministries and that you're going to be out at South Eugene, and that's exciting for Crossfire.
Yep.
But for the whole body of Christ and addressing some of the Hispanic issues, when a Christian begins to see somebody and they're frustrated and irritated because of their political view or their thought on immigration or those kind of things, I'm pretty strong. I'm pretty strong for, secure borders with what's going on in the
Yes,
world
yeah.
and immigration and doing it right and all that. But I also know there's some that are in our country, regardless of our political affiliation, we have to love them.
Oh, yes, of course.
And
yeah.
we have to reach them with the gospel. If they're close to us, we've got to love them and reach them with the gospel. It goes far beyond what they think of politically. Go ahead.
Yeah, right. The point is, they're already here.
Yeah.
And if they're already here, they have two choices: be okay or be bad. And this way, if we can reach these people and started to talking to them about Jesus, of course, the life is going to be changed. And we already see it that. Because if you ask me about a few of our new members, they really can tell you how the life was before. They are drunk, they try to use drugs, they are in the bad ways. They are already here, and we reach them, and we are already talking about Jesus. And they started to be the difference of life.
It's like home missions. I mean, it's right here.
Right, yes.
It's like a mission field right here. We get to reach people that are can use help, can use someone that cares about them. And, I know many Hispanic families and people that have been in our church, some that still are in our church, most of them speak English. If they solely speak, Spanish, I'm in trouble because I'm at a deficit. That's why I'm so glad to be able to partner with all of our pastors that are Hispanic speaking. And in me, there's not a prejudice bone in my body. I love culture. I love different nationalities. I love those things. And to me, I have such a respect for people who see an avenue to minister, and they don't care who it's to, but also won't just say, well, we can minister to them if they're in another country, but we can't right here. I mean, the truth is, we're after sharing the love of the gospel, sharing the love of Jesus, period.
Yes,
period. And right now, we have an opportunity to reach out and share the gospel with the Hispanic community. And I know that is your burden in your heart. At the same time, you're now becoming, will be ordained in a few weeks, a pastor right here at Crossfire Ministries. So you're going to have to be sharpening up on your English too, which you actually do fine. So
thank you.
Tell me a little bit about how you came, because you didn't come to this country the right way, technically the legal way, but you're here now. You're legal. We got your papers. You're good. But how did you come from Guatemala, and why? Because I know there's some things that there's some people in countries that they need help. Need our help. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, the situation in 1980s. Get a political situation.
Reagan,
Cuba, Russia, and they like to play this way like a cake. That's Russia started to say, Cuba is mine. United States say, okay, Cuba is yours, but Central America is mine. In this way, they put all the money, all the effort they can do that to make this way. This political situation in my country started to be in the situation that government received money from United States, but nobody knows, only them. The population started to see that something is happening. And Cuba started to approach to the people that they don't like what's going on in our country, and started to give money and other things. In this way, they started to fighting against the government. The population be in the middle. In this way, they fighting for the government, they fighting for the communist situation. We don't want this fighting. And we are in the middle. And you were saying innocent people. I mean, they're disappearing. Because the movement started in the university, and some people they like to fight, but another people they like to go and have the education, right? But the government don't understand. They say, okay, everybody in the university is a communist, and they started to follow, and they started to push us, and they started to persecute, and even they go to our house nighttime, pick up guys, and disappear. And
so you started to walk.
Oh yes, I definitely I don't want to
From
be involved
Guatemala.
from Guatemala to United States, because I say the only place I can see safe, because even Mexico, that's dangerous for us.
Yeah.
Because when we cross the border, we are illegal right there. And they started to, oh, you are from Guatemala, go there, or they assault us, or they take everything what we have, you know, they're very dangerous. For the grace of God, you know, take me 2 months to walk from my country to the United States. Miracles after miracles. And I know the God is there, because protect me the whole way, you know?
So you come into America.
Yes.
Where at? Where did you come into America?
Los Angeles. I crossed the border to Los Angeles. I started to, you know.
And you know that you're probably the only Hispanic, Spanish-speaking person who's ever crossed the border into the U.S. because nobody else has done that, right?
Well,
oh wait, there's a whole lot of them, but somehow you made it.
But we don't know. I made it.
You just were like, hey, I just need to go there.
Right. And the first thing I do is to jump to the church.
Yeah.
Because I say, well, the only way I can survive in this country, no English, no family, no friends, no nothing, from the nothing, you know? Because, you know, I don't know the country, I don't know the culture, I don't know nothing. I started to go to church, I started to see how God worked with me. People started to offer me a job. I said, well, I can work, you know? An American, I remember Steve, is the first person hired me, and I bless him.
His name was Steve?
Steve,
yeah.
Yes. And he was Christian, and it's very difficult for him because he don't speak any Spanish, and I don't speak any English. And we work together to paint his house. I don't know how we can finish, but we do that. Yeah. And he's so happy because he can help me, and I'm so happy because he helped me, you know, and started to understand each other. I get some little English for here, for over there. And finally, he offered me a job in his shop, and he have a piano shop. And I started to work there, and I started to become more known.
19 years
fighting with the government to try to get my asylum. To prove that what I say is true. Yeah. Because you say, nothing happened in Guatemala. There's no people disappear. Are you crazy? I say, well, it's happened to me. And I am dangerous if I going back. I say, well, we need to check it out. And, you know, but it's very strong fighting because you need to fight with a government to say, nothing happened in your country. You can go back. And it's 1,000 people dying every week.
So let me ask you this: you now are legally here in the United States, able to work.
Able to work.
You know, you've been able to, and it's an awesome thing. So then you're in LA and you begin to work. During that time, you're working within the church.
Yes.
From just helping set up tables.
Oh yeah, I started from the bottom. I started to working in the church.
And you learn English?
And I started to learn English because one of my goals is to go to the school and talking to the teacher of my kids.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what happened. Because I need to know the culture and everything. Because I saw another people that they don't want to speak English because they a little bit say, you know, because 95% of the Hispanic people came to the United States. They say that I go for 3 years, 2 or 5, the more, and I going back. But never happened that way.
They don't come back.
They never going back. And I know from the time I came, and I'm going to stay here. That's just my desire. But I be trust with this. I say, okay, I need to learn English for sure.
Right.
For my kids, for me, a little bit for the job and everything, because it's America.
So let me ask you this. Something in every country I've been at where there's some immigration into the U.S., legal, illegal, either way. Mm-hmm. When people come to the U.S. from a third world country, they almost to a number have a goal of sending money back to their families.
Oh, yes.
Who are still there.
Right.
And it is such an interesting thing because in America, we raise our children, and we're lucky if our children even give us the time of day. We're just hoping that maybe they'll talk to us.
Yes.
Here, people literally may never see their parents again. And I see this with country after country after country after country. They immigrate to the United States, but their main focus is, I'm working to survive, make a good living. I want to support my family who have so little in other countries.
Oh, and the minute I cross the border, I see the paradise, because you don't see it over there. And you appreciate more, maybe a double of the people born here.
I have to tell you, I love talking to somebody, and I am completely against illegal immigration.
Yep.
And I know you are too, and we're not encouraging that.
No.
But at the same time, you got to struggle. You're trying to, and there's we can't have everybody come to the U.S. It wouldn't work. But at the same time, I appreciate the resilience, the heart, the love, the care that people have in just simply saying, I need to take care of my family, and I'll do whatever it takes. And when they come here, of course, we want them to do it the right way.
Right.
We're not against immigration. We need them to do it the right way. It's better for our economy, better for them. But that being said, I think the resilience and the heart that people have, and the appreciation that you have for this country, for you, for your children,
for my kids,
for your church, and reaching out to those maybe who didn't come here the right way. I mean, let's be real.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And some obviously in our churches that have, and they've come through the right channels, but they enjoy their Hispanic heritage. They speak Spanish part of the time. Some of them only speak Spanish. Some just want to teach their children and keep their culture alive, and part of that is their walk with Christ. So,
of course, and that is the point I really see it in the point. My view say, okay, I make a mistake. For example, to say, okay, I make a mistake to jump illegally to that country, but I don't want to make another mistake to be bad to this country. Right?
That's a great way of putting it.
If I do a big mistake, okay, I cross the border. I cannot do another big mistake to be bad in this country.
Right.
Because if I be walking with Jesus, my life is going to be changed.
Yeah.
The people around me is going to be okay, because the life I have it is going to be good for everybody. Yeah. I pay my taxes. Yeah. I try to be okay with my kids. I don't abuse them. I try to be honest with my job. I try to be honest with my people around me. If they ask me for insurance, I can buy insurance. Okay. If we can teach that people, okay, you already make a mistake to jump to the country. Well, now don't make another mistake.
Right, let's do things right.
Be drunk, be in drugs, or do bad things. Okay, try to do it the right way.
Exactly. Do desperate things.
Right.
And so, so that's awesome. Well, I don't want to miss the fact that we've got some incredible things, some exciting things coming up. Maybe someone's watching and they're looking for a Hispanic-speaking church.
Right,
Maybe they're red, white, yellow, blue, green. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of green people. I've seen a few blue ones, but that's because they were, they committed suicide. But so we don't care about the color, but if they speak Spanish, because you do speak primarily in your services.
Oh, Spanish. Yes. Yeah, right. Some people try to get some church that they can express themselves, that the people understand what's going on. And I know a few people get it in English church, and they are very, like it, but they prefer.
And your daughter, just so everyone knows, your daughter and her family and her husband attend our church, our congregation. And, that's where we got to know you, got to know your heart and our connection. And now with you coming on and pastoring here at Crossfire, primarily the South Eugene, and then we also have Patty and Pedro, they're pastors here. And on the same day, we'll be opening a Hispanic church at 2:00 at South Eugene campus. We're also opening one right here in Springfield at 3:30, and I'm going to be jumping back and forth, and we're gonna have a great day.
Right.
We'll do our ordination service earlier that day, and we're so excited about what God's doing, and how God's just putting things together. So maybe somebody watching maybe you are Hispanic and you're looking for a Hispanic church, or you're looking for a pastor, or maybe you're not Hispanic, but you speak Spanish. I mean, you need to speak Spanish.
From Spain.
You know, they could be from Spain.
Right.
Or maybe they just took it in high school and they want a church where they speak Spanish.
Actually, I have a two-person that they already American, born here, but they like our service. Good. They say, okay, we want to speak
I think
Spanish.
They like you.
Oh, well.
That's the problem, because you don't have to be around you, Luis, very long, and people fall in love with you, because you have such a great heart. Such a great heart for people. Such a great heart. You know, even not just the Hispanics. I see in our church your love and your care. And, you know, one of the best things we can do for racism and all the hatred and all the putting and belittling people. One of the things that I love about having you involved in our church services is that people realize that we don't tolerate that at all.
At all. Yeah.
You know, you want to call me a lover of everyone, any color, and if we can reach out to a segment of society through us coming together and developing ministry, man, what could be better than that? To do the will of God together.
You need to think about that. God created everybody.
That's right.
Why we make distinction? Oh, this is over there, this is over there. God actually put you here. Okay, good. But you remember Abraham moved from Ur and going to Canaan. And this way, he can ask me to move from my country to come here to do some job. And that's amazing. How I understand now, 30 years ago, I don't get it.
Yeah.
But he think about in the
God
future.
Knows.
He knows that there's Spanish-speaking people that need help. And if he can use me, I'm glad to do that. That's no problem for me.
Awesome. Well, I do know this. May 17th, Sunday, May 17th, we're going to be opening the Hispanic Church at South Eugene.
Yep.
That'll start at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
And then will be a grand opening of the Hispanic Church here at 3:30.
3:30.
And you're going to be here at least at South Eugene to greet.
Yep.
We've got some great plans of doing some outreach and being able to help this community. But man, if they wanted to get a hold of you, they could simply email at mycrossfire.com. Any other way they can get a hold of you?
Well,
they have a Facebook page.
We can. They can looking for Luis Bonilla, pastor of Hebron Church, and
spell that, because I would never get that out of your name. So Luis
Bonilla, B as in boy, Onilla.
Yeah, so it doesn't even sound like Bonilla to me, because I'm just, this poor.
Bonilla.
Bonilla.
Yeah,
and if they look that up, they'll be able to go on Facebook. Connected with Crossfire. We're so thankful to have you.
Thank you.
As a part of our church, and this being able to be another expression of the gospel in our area is this church and you and your lovely wife. So I'm so grateful to just have you a part of this.
Oh, we are so happy to be here. Actually, it's some step that we don't think about it before, but now with all this equipment and everything, we are so excited that we can reach more people. That is what we want. That everybody knows us. In this way, they can come over, speak freely, don't worry about it. No, it's only if you speak Spanish, you are welcome to come to our service. No problem at all.
Well, and you're going to be doing some TV ministry over there. I know we're working on setting some of that up.
Sure.
To be able to get it so that you'll be having Spanish-speaking services over there. And we're just excited about it. I'm also excited about going on some mission trips.
Oh, yeah.
I always have to go there and hope I find a good interpreter. I want to take some with me.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be awesome.
Actually, it's going to be one of my goals that I'm planning to going back to my country with the Word of God.
Amen.
Because it's a lot of help they need over there. And yeah, that's something that
I-
is beautiful.
I was really, as we started talking, and I'm trying to think if maybe you could help me. You know, we've got 6 people, 4 pastors that are Spanish speaking,
Mhm.
and if you have you and your wife,
Right.
and then you take Patty and Pedro. Our own youth pastor is Hispanic also descent, and then you take Sylvia and Frank Loya, and there's a pretty good contingency
Ooh, wow.
of Hispanic. But when you look at this, Mexico, Honduras, Guatemala, Salvador. Was that it?
Yeah, El Salvador.
All right. I was
The
like,
saber.
wow.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So
Yeah.
what a way to reach out. It's like God's just coming
Yeah,
in and saying,
put everybody
how can we
together.
do that? You know, you get honky white boy like me and my wife who's even whiter than I am. And no, I think, you know, I didn't know what my nationality was. So people would always be like, you know, make a big deal about nationality. And I was adopted. I had no idea. So it wasn't until my 30s that I found out I was Welsh and German.
Oh, whoa.
And yeah, so a little bit of strong genes there.
Yeah,
and
genes.
Not always a great history in that. But I tell you what, none of those things necessarily matter, but there's a culture
Yep.
that matters and a people that matter. And we don't want to, as Crossfire, segment people. We'd talked, I'd said, listen, I'm just as happy with
Right.
you coming on, being a pastor at Crossfire, and that's it. But there are Spanish-speaking people, and we want to offer a way to reach them. And you're doing that as one of the pastors that here. I'm doing this as one of the pastors here. We're excited about some international weekends
Beautiful.
where
Yeah.
we'll do stuff together.
Right.
All the different picnics and all the different outreaches and our children's outreaches and things. We're excited about it.
Oh, yeah, because in this way we can see that the people really feel fine, you know, that, oh, I can be there because somebody can translate for me in case I need something. I'm here.
Yeah. And you know what else I think is awesome is that we come to a place where it's not us, you know, and them. It's not you and them. And we want one body, one church. We have some different services. We reach out. You know, they can be involved with what we're doing. We can be involved with you. I will say it's going to be a little tough for me. I got to have a translator. I've tried. I go to other countries and I try to speak their language, and I'm horrible. I have a hard enough time with English, but I usually end up cursing or saying something dirty or wrong. And I'm always like, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. You know.
Sorry.
So
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I'm a little challenged that I want to be able to communicate better because our church is growing, our outreach is growing, our ability to reach out and love people are growing, and that crosses culture, crosses languages, it crosses the love of Jesus.
Be
crosses
one body.
all that.
That's
one body,
right.
serve one God, one body.
One body.
Thank you for joining us here at this Lane County Ministry Forecast. There's great ministry that is happening here in our community. Great ministry that's being put out. We'd love you to be a part of it. We'd love to hear from your pastors, your leaders, the people in your congregations or within your family. If they're doing an event or you just want to know more about a ministry, that's not just Crossfire or it's just not, you know, one thing or another. It's all that throughout Lane County. We want to be able to help get the word out so you can be more involved. I want you to be a part of it by simply writing us, calling us, connecting with us. You can email us here at Lane County Ministry Forecast. We would like to hear from you about other guests that would be on this show so that we could help take the gospel to our community and to our county, Lane County, a place where God is developing. I believe these are the cities of God, and God is going to use us to reach our cities, and we're glad to be a part of that here at Lane County Ministry Forecast and His Word Broadcasting. Thank you for supporting, thank you for watching, and thank you for helping make all this possible. In the name of Jesus.
Amen.